And a million faces formed together, made for elevation. I'm a soldier, won't surrender faith. Is like a fire that never burns to embers. The voice of the unheard. Love is the answer.
I gotta speak it, believe it, that's how I feel inside.
I can't sit here quiet.
You can take my heart, you can take my breath when you pry it from the cold dead chest.
This is how we rise up. Heavy as a hurricane, louder than a freight train. This is how we rise.
got to take me off mute. Welcome, everyone, to another special edition of Straight Talk with Joe Villano. It is a crazy, crazy day out there. And it's almost depressing seeing what has happened today. So if anyone has not been following what's going on out there as far as energy prices, you better look, especially if you have heating oil and you live in this state. You better take a quick look to see, one, where your tank is at, and two, where prices have gone over the last 3 days. And I'm going to break it down because a lot of things have happened due to the rapid increase in energy prices. But before we get into that, let's get through the formalities here. Of course, I am Joe Villano. I'm your host, your guiding light through all this nonsense and the craziness going on. And listen, I just walked in the door. I started my day at about 3:30 this morning. I am literally just walking in the door maybe like 20 minutes ago. And I had to run down here and get all this set up. But it has been an absolutely crazy day. If you look at things from the outside, not knowing the fuel business, you think somebody was robbing you, because technically they are robbing you today. But I am your host, and obviously this show always works best when you are involved. So if you want to call in, 203-679-9610. If you have heating oil questions, if you have energy questions overall, this is the night to do it. If you want to email us, straighttalkjv@gmail.com. And of course, if you're on social media, you could always jump in on the message board. I see it is up and running. It's awfully quiet over there today. Where is everybody today? Everybody must be sleeping. I know the alerts came out a little late today because, like I said, I've been running around all day long. But if you want to call in, 203-679-9610. And of course, we're going to throw our little disclaimer on the bottom here. There we go, so that we could keep the SEC happy. But if you woke up this morning, oil was at about $4.19, $4.29. And if you go look at it now, you're up at $4.80 a gallon. So, looking at that, you'd be like, wow, what the hell happened here? Well, I'm looking at energy prices. I'm looking at oil prices. If you look at the oil stock, it didn't go anywhere. So a bunch of things have happened over the last 3 days, and I want to break them down so that you understand how we got to the price we're at today. If you looked at 3 days ago, we were at what? $3.69, $3.79? So we went up $1 in less than 72 hours. Small businesses have been destroyed over the last 3 days. Really, over the last year and a half. Because this isn't the first time we've seen big energy spikes like this. So, and it's only going to get worse, especially for the heating oil side. And I'm going to get into that in a second. So if you looked at what's happened over the last couple of days, one, we've had a couple of cold days. That always freaks people out. It never made sense to me why people freak out. Obviously, if you're a customer of mine, we talk about it before you order on some occasions. A lot of you like to just send me text messages about what's going on. And then we had OPEC decide that they were going to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day. So that didn't help the cause either. But if you noticed, oil prices really haven't changed. And today, especially. So heating oil was up slightly today. I just want to make sure I get my correct numbers here. So we finished today at $88 per barrel. So in heating oil terms, that's $3.88 a gallon. Now, you'd be sitting there saying, all right, well, if the average is $3.88 a gallon, why are we paying $4.89 a gallon. And that's when it gets into the local things that do affect your heating oil. Now, unbeknownst to a lot of us that don't use a specific supplier here in Connecticut, Connecticut really has 3 or 4 major suppliers of heating oil in the state. And you get them at various terminals throughout the state. I've said I won't mention the other ones. I'll mention who we use most of the time. We do use other vendors because we believe in being diversified and making sure that we have suppliers and God forbid something should happen. So we usually use Sprague Energy out of New Hampshire, and they've been very good to us. Their pricing is relatively low, but for the most part, they take very good care of us. And they've been very good to work with, and it allows us to buy in real time, which is ideal for us because we like to make big purchases when we see dips in pricing. Hold on a second. I'll probably down this whole thing by the time we're done here. As I've been running around like a maniac all day long today. But what we did not know until yesterday, at least I didn't know till yesterday, is that the biggest supplier of heating oil in the state had absolutely none. There are a lot of oil companies in this state for the last week have not been able to pick up oil because barges haven't been able to get in or pick up fuel down south. So that together is automatically going to raise prices. Now, the other issue is we had really one supplier in the state that basically is the only one with oil. So when people say, well, oil futures didn't go up today. Yes, nationally and on the world stage, you're correct. But here in Connecticut, we are having a major oil shortage, which is why you're seeing high rates. Now, some of you may have noticed that you got an email today from certain oil companies. Now, I tell my customers, or Barbara tells our customers, or Aaron tells our customers, if you call in right now, prices are definitely subject to change. The way it works throughout the day, oil prices they always increase and never decrease throughout the day. That I don't know. That's just the way wholesalers do it. You can see oil drop through the floor, and they will never budge on that price. But if it goes up, they will adjust prices throughout the day. Today, we had 3 price increases today, ranging anywhere from 8 cents to 12 cents a gallon. Over the last 3 days, we have had 10 changes in heating oil pricing, ranging from 8 cents to 12 cents. We have gone up $1 a gallon in a matter of 3 days because of supply issues here in Connecticut. That means bad news for low and middle income families who are already finding it hard to make ends meet. It makes it hard for the people that are just trying to get a couple of gallons before their heating assistance kicks in. Because heating assistance won't kick into November. And remember, we only have $79 million that are allocated in the state. And that's not just for heating oil. That's for gas, that's for electric, propane. These prices are not going anywhere anytime soon. Because on a national level, we're not doing anything here at home to help ease the cost of oil. And with all the hurricanes, like I said, we're like in the perfect storm that's just continuing, that just will not go away. It just won't go away. And it's killing small businesses. Today alone, we lost 4 heating oil company businesses. Today alone, we saw 4 small businesses shut their doors. We watched who just watched their dreams flushed away. Those are jobs lost. Those are families that are going to be hurting. And for all the customers out there of theirs, all their customers are now left to fend for themselves, to sit there and try to find another supplier. Now, obviously, you can always come to fill her up. But there are some people that have been with these companies for decades. Listen, we have customers that we purchased when we bought other companies that have been with these companies for decades, that have now just been thrown out there. And it's not the fault of these small companies that went out. I get it. I truly get it. And I reached out to a couple of them today, just to express how sad I was for them, who I knew were committed to the business, that I knew were committed to their customers. And they had no choice. And you know, one of them posted, I don't want to speak out of, one of them posted, where was it? There it is. Listen, this is exactly how, you know, they had to cancel all the orders. They're accepting no new ones and no reopening date. Oil prices are raising too fast to put a price on oil, which is true. Which is why I say we tell our customers, subject to change. They're changing 3 to 4 times a day at 10 cents at a time. And it's a very difficult time for everybody. You know, a lot of people think that when oil prices go up, that us in the business make a ton of money. No. We like to see oil prices down. And when oil prices go up, that puts a burden on us. And a lot of the small businesses can't survive on that. And I'll tell you why. Because remember, we have to purchase all this fuel ahead of time. So if you're a small business running 1 or 2 trucks, and you go down and pick up, let's say 2,000 gallons, and you're taking all these orders in, and you're not paying attention to what's going on because you have it on auto, you have, you know, your website's going, everything else, and you're selling all this oil. And let's say 419 where it started today. 419, you started your day picking up. And you took in all these orders throughout the day at 419 on your website. And then you get back to the office and you see it's at 479. You're losing money. We saw a lot of companies go out there, start their day, and come back losing money. And it's so hard, like this gentleman said, it's so hard to predict it. And these small companies, remember, when they increase, one, we lose customers because people start to buy less. And when it's higher, and they're paying by credit card, our credit card fees are much higher. Because remember, we pay a percentage. So therefore, we have to raise fees there. Diesel gets more expensive. You can't deliver without a truck that runs on diesel. Diesel is getting more expensive. Plus your labor, your office staff. It is tough. And like I say, if you're buying oil at $2 a gallon, and listen, we buy thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of gallons at a shot that we have to put out there. That capital needs to be expended out there. And then hopefully customers pay on time. A lot of these small businesses, these small companies, have a lot of automatics, which means they just go out there, fill it, and they wait for checks to come in. That's a lot of capital to be putting out there. It leaves you a lot of exposure, a lot of liability. So listen, I've heard a lot of things. I heard a lot of shots taken at oil companies. Trust me, I've gotten text messages multiple times today. What the hell are you guys doing? And it's not us. It's the market. It's a very volatile market. And I'm hoping, again, and I said this a couple months ago when me and my business partner were talking about it, about, prices and how things are going this season. And I said, I was like, we're going to see a huge spike and they're going to squeeze out all the small businesses. They're going to squeeze them out. They're not going to be able to compete. Small oil companies, small mom and pop shops are not going to be able to compete in this type of market. And these bigger companies are going to start eating them up. It happens more and more every year. It's just exacerbated the problem now. Like I said, we lost 4 of them that I know of. We've lost 4 today. And I said, these are good quality companies. These aren't just some fly-by-the-night guys. Been doing it a long time. But just can't afford to do it. So be nice to your oil guy. You don't have to send hate mail to me anymore. I explained it to you on what's going on. You're still going to send me the hate mail, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll move on. We'll move past it. Eventually, this is all going to be. Listen, but we already know what needs to happen here. Because, like I said, this problem is not going away anytime soon. So the state and federal government has to deal with this, especially in the state. Republicans have been begging for a special session to bring in an extra $121 million for heating assistance. These prices here, you cannot have as much heating assistance as you normally do on $79 million. Like I said, and that's not just for heating oil. That's for everything. Democrats need to come to the table and get to special session and take care of this. Because people are freaking out. Rightfully so. They're rightfully so freaking out because they don't know what the hell how they're going to pay for it. They have no idea. On another topic, we were over at the senior center today. They had a birthday party for one of our vets. He turned 103 today. And Filler Up put together a basket of goodies. Actually, well, Isabel, I think, is on here. Isabel actually put it together. I just paid for it. Isabel's here somewhere. So, Isabel, thank you for putting that basket together. It looked awesome. I had all sorts of cool stuff. I had chocolates, which I wanted to eat up from Thompson Chocolates. Had a gift certificate to one of my favorite restaurants, Craft Kitchen in Southington, which is phenomenal. If you've never been there, you should go. I highly recommend it. And a bunch of other goodie things that he will enjoy. So Henry turned 103 today, World War II vet. So it was great to see. There was about 100 people there. It was a packed house over at the Senior Center. But if anyone remembers, last year, Republicans were talking about the Senior Center and getting a new Senior Center for them. So I like the fact that now all of a sudden the mayor has turned on to it and now believes that it's a good idea. Of course, nobody wanted to talk about it last year. Nobody wanted to talk about it last year about Republicans. And apparently a lot of people have been asking about the Senior Center and about renovations. And I don't think that it needs renovation. I think that whole place needs to be knocked down and something else put there. I believe that we have two issues here in the city. We need two new buildings. One for the seniors, because the one that's there now is inadequate for them. And to me, feels like a friggin' prison. And two, we have a health department building over on Miller that is absolutely, literally falling apart. Literally falling apart. And Republicans last year, if anyone remembers, during the debates, during every time we went and had a speech, we all talked about integrating the health department with the Senior Center and putting it down near the green. And that does multiple things. One, it gets them away from that main road. Because trying to cross through the back downstairs of the Senior Center is like playing Frogger, hoping not to get squashed. And putting the health department in there has helped with health care for them. So we need to do that permanently. I would like to see the Senior Center / Health Center put down by the green. And I want it down by the green. I want it down by the green because it allows the seniors to have access to the green to go sit and relax. You know, on a beautiful sunny day, they're stuck in that building. If you go, just go onto the record journal and look at the picture. It looks like a prison. Our seniors have sacrificed for this city. They've paid their taxes. They've helped make this city a better place. We need to reward them with that, for that. And I think, again, putting it right down by the green and using COVID money, two, using state grants, which will be day one what I look to do to get as much state grant money to fund something like this so that our seniors have a decent place to go. And again, the health department, that building is it cannot be fixed. It needs to be either repurposed or knocked down. And if we can't do it by the green, I have a backup. We've been talking about it all this time over there on Cook Ave. Take down the old nurses or the old doctor's building across the street, and you could put it there. But to me, it just, unless you're going to keep a lot of open space, you would need a lot of open space for that, because you got to give the seniors somewhere to go on a nice day. You got to give them a nice courtyard. So for me, those are the two big spots. And again, people are like, oh, we're finally talking about it. No, we've been talking about it for years. We've been talking about it for years. Republicans, again, last year, every city council member, every city council candidate, the mayor candidate, Elaine Kiriani was talking about it. We've been talking about giving back to our seniors for years, and we've been ignored the whole time. Now, all of a sudden, the mayor's going to come out and be like, oh, we need to do this, as if it's his grand idea of, hey, look at me. No. Republicans have been talking about it and demanding it. So they are going to put together a panel. Hopefully, it should pass easily through council next meeting. But it passed through committee, and now it's going to go on to the council. And they're going to put together a planning board. And I am hoping they put good people on it. How much I love the seniors on is something I'm not interested in getting on this panel. I want to see what they got. And my job will be, when we get to the Senate, is to get them funding for it. So that's my job. My job, once we win this race in November, it'll be my job to go up there and get the money from the state to help pay for it. And I look forward to doing that. Because these seniors are worth it. These seniors have paid their dues to make this place a better place. And we're going to do the same for them. So keep your eye out for that. And then this story was sent to me about, we've been talking about juvenile crime in this city for how long now? God, longer than I could possibly even remember. And someone sent me this story from the Record Journal. And I read the first line. I was like, holy crap, what the hell happened here? City police arrested and charged 6 juveniles with recovered 4 stolen vehicles Monday in a sweep that went from the east side to the west side. So that first sentence there, right then and there, I was like, what the hell is going on here? 6 juveniles. Where are their parents here? Where the hell are these kids' parents? And then going reading down farther into the story, they let all these friggin' kids go. They released them to their parents and gave them a court date. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Because we just had juvenile legislation passed and come into effect October 1st. That was supposed to stop some of this stuff. It's crazy. So apparently, the juvenile crime bill that passed really isn't doing anything. Isn't doing anything. Because these kids were just released right to their parents. And again, this one killed me the most. After several foot chases, all 5 juveniles were apprehended. And then 4 of the juveniles were charged with interfering with police. Due to these charges not meeting the criteria of a serious juvenile offense, all juveniles were issued court dates and released to parents. Are you friggin' kidding me? Running from the police is a non-serious juvenile offense? Stealing a car or being in a stolen car is not a serious juvenile offense? What the hell is? What is? We wonder why crime is on a rampage here? Because these kids know they're not going to get in trouble. Again, where the hell are their parents? And I don't see how it's not a serious juvenile offense. If I did that, it'd be multiple felonies. And I'd be thrown in jail. What the hell is going on here? We need, again, it's even more important for us to get up to Hartford and put a stop to this nonsense. Because obviously whatever they passed is not working. It's not working. This is a scary thought for anyone living in this city. That juveniles could come and steal your car, run from the cops, and still be walking out back on the streets 2 hours later. Something needs to be done. Because this is out of control. And that wasn't the only one. They had a juvenile who was arrested on charges of second-degree larceny and still issued a juvenile summons and released to his parent. First-degree criminal trover, second-degree larceny, and he had an arrest warrant. An arrest warrant stipulation stated that the suspect was to be issued a juvenile summons and released to his parents. What the hell are we doing here? How did we get to this point? How did we get here? How did we get to a society where it's okay to commit crimes as long as you're under 18? Because apparently once you turn 18, forget it. All bets are off. You're going to jail. But do it under 18, don't worry about it. Slap on the wrist. What is that teaching these kids? What is it teaching their parents? Because I tell you what, then these parents should be held accountable for it. If you're allowing your kids to be roaming around stealing cars, and don't tell me that you don't know what's going on. Because I tell you what, if any one of these were my kid, I'd be beating them. They'd want to stay in jail. Because that'd probably be a safer place than being home. But these kids are repeat offenders, most of them. Most of them are repeat offenders. And yet we continue and continue to release them back into the streets. To go do it all over again. I mean, that kid with the warrant, that was like his fourth time. And the police are the bad guys at the end of the day, right? That's what our city government would make you think. Many of those at city council wanted you to believe that the kids aren't the problem, it's the cops. It's craziness. Absolute lunacy what's going on. And if again, as a taxpayer and as a citizen, I am disgusted by it. So I see you guys are sitting here chatting about our great ARP funds. And I didn't get a chance to go to the meeting. Obviously, I had Joseph's birthday. And Doreen, it wasn't my foot. Junior broke his ankle or his ankle today. It was one of the bones near his foot. Now, I like to sit there and say that, he talked trash one too many times and I gave him a crackle. But, getting off the school bus. Getting off the school bus apparently is hard work. So getting off the school bus, he twisted his ankle and it looks like he has a fracture in it. So he is in one of those hard boots and crutches for at least the next couple of weeks. So before they do another x-ray. So yes, but he is doing fine. He is upstairs, elevating his foot and icing it up. So, but I'll make sure I send your well wishes. Yeah, so I'm trying to still grasp, Sean, what the F happened on Monday night with this bill. Well, with this, yeah, I guess. Obviously, we're giving $25,000 each for nursing students to get their nursing degree. How the hell did this even ever get voted on at committee level, no matter at the council level? And someone has to explain to me how the hell this even came close to passing. For many reasons. Let's break this all down. One, we know this came from Rhodey because it's from the community health center. And what is it? $385,000 of your money is going to go to nursing students who are trying to go to nursing for higher education. First of all, that is not what this money is supposed to be used for. And the fact that it could be used for this is a little skeptical. And my first call is going out to Kevin McAmbola tomorrow morning to find out if this is even allowed, because I don't see how it is. How is the city, how is a committee picking and choosing winners and losers? Why are nurses the number one vote getter for getting funds? If we're going to give $25,000 for students to go nursing, why aren't we giving $25,000 sign-on bonuses for police officers? Why are we not giving $25,000 sign-on bonuses for fire department personnel? Why are we not giving $25,000 signing bonuses for our dispatch center? Why are the nurses being singled out here? It is crazy. And the fact that this actually passed committee, I know 2 people voted against it. I know Justin and Mike Carabetta Councilman Carabetta voted against it. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell this passed city council. This, I don't even know how it got here. And on the face of it, it reeks of favoritism. I want to know whose kid is going to benefit from this. I want to know who somebody must have had somebody in the system here that needed this money. Every Republican and we the people should have voted against this. And I know Fontanella voted against it. It should have been 5-4 failed. And who wasn't there? Which 3 are we missing? I mean, Rhodey can't vote on it because it's a conflict of interest. Who were the other 2 that were missing? Other than probably Cortez was probably missing because she's on medical leave. So who else? We were missing one more. Who was the one that was missing? Was there a Republican? Tomasetti? So Tomasetti didn't. Okay. So that should have been 5-4. And I got to tell you, I am disappointed in Mr. Williams. Councilman Williams, I don't know how he voted for this. I can't imagine. again, now I expect to see something coming before the committee for the police officers and for dispatch center. In fact, I'm gonna go write one up and I'm gonna put it out there. Why are nurses? And they're not even nurses. They're just trying to get into the field. This is just for higher education. I don't know, why were they so highly praised to say, hey, we're going to give you 25 grand? And how is this even going to be administered? How is the community health center going to give this money out? And why are we allowing a private entity to hand out apparently scholarship money, your money, what, to individuals they decide is worthy of it? How are they going to determine qualifications for it? I know how they're going to do it. They're going to push their social justice crap. I guarantee that. This isn't going to be distributed fairly or equitably, as they like to say. They like to say equity. This is absolute craziness to me. But this is what we allow to happen around here. This is what we allow to happen. And I got to say, I was flabbergasted when I heard that Mr. Williams was the deciding vote. When I heard it was 5-4 with Bob Williams being the deciding vote, I was like, oh, this thing failed. And they're like, no, he voted for it. I almost lost it. I was like, what? It's just crazy to me. And I hope someday that Mr. Williams, I know Mr. Williams sometimes watches the show. Hopefully someday we'll be able to grab him and figure out why. What was his reasons behind it? Because that always fascinates me. Why people do the things they do. It's just crazy. So there was supposed to be, and in fact, I was still trying to figure out, not to change the subject, but there are a couple things coming up this week that you should be made aware of. So I'll make sure we touch on a couple things. One, the car show was rescheduled to Sunday. I don't have the time. I think it's, Ray, you probably have it. So the car show in South Meriden up at the Holy Angels Church is is going to be on Sunday. St. Jude's over at the Meriden Gun and Rod Club is this Saturday. So that is always a great time. If you don't know where the Gun and Rod Club is, it's over there in South Meriden on Raven Lane. So the St. Jude's fundraiser is their biggest one of the year, and it is a great time. Great food, great company, great raffles. If you want to go shooting, you can go shooting. If you've never shot before, come on out there. I'll come shooting with you. I'll be bringing mine because I always love some range time. And I always like a good friendly competition on marksmanship. So that is happening Saturday. We have the the Record Journal debate is coming up on October 17th. So we're only 11 days away for that. So if you want to join us on the 17th, it is at the Record Journal building over there on South Broad Street. As we get closer, I'll give you more details on time of what time it starts, location, address. But that will be a great time. I look forward to debating my opponent. Listen, I think we got a lot of great things to run on, and I think they're going to basically be like, it's not our fault, it's systemic racism. I got to imagine that's going to come out in equity. Those two things are going to come out maybe like 10 times throughout the debate. So we look forward to that again on the 17th. And of course, if we are starting to prepare for election day, so if you have time to give on election day, please, please, please PM us. Either contact me or Elaine or even Isabel and just let us know. And we will get you set up with whatever you feel you are comfortable doing, whether it's standing there at the polls, whether it's working back at the headquarters. We have a fully functional headquarters that will be ramped up on election day to make sure that we are maximizing votes. So if you want to get involved in that, by all means, please message us ASAP. And you could always do that. You could also always, like I said, just message me, Elaine, or Isabel, or send us an email. So a lot of stuff going on. What else we got going? Oh, Republicans are doing a flower sale this weekend. The Saturday, Sunday, Elaine, what's the time for those? Is it starting at 9? Usually it runs, what, 9 to 3, 9 to 4? So if you could just post those hours. And are you guys doing one location or two locations? So 9 to 4. And is it just Hanover, or are you doing Hanover and East Main? So, so make sure you stop down there. You have to do absentee ballot. So the best thing to do so if you're doing an absentee ballot, I would say go down to City Hall and do it in person. That's what I would do. And then you could do everything right then there. Then you know you're all set. So that would be my my suggestion. If you do an absentee ballot and you're here now, ballots start. So if you do an application, ballots start being sent out tomorrow, the 7th. So if you go like the 8th or 9th, then they could give you a ballot then, right in person, fill it out, and you can hand it right back in. That's probably the best bet to do. So, obviously, let's see, what else we got going on? I think that's... Oh, tomorrow. I almost forgot about that. Tomorrow morning, Hispanic award ceremony over at Monticello. That's at 8:30. You can buy tickets at the door. It's I think it's $40 at the door. So that should be a good time. So if you want to come out in the morning for breakfast, I know I will be there. I know 1 to 5 for the car show. Thank you. I'll be there tomorrow. Filler Up will be there tomorrow. I know Filler Up is a sponsor of the event. So we look forward to being there for that tomorrow. And other than that, I think that pretty much sums it up on what's going on. Unless I'm missing something. And I probably am. And somebody will let me know as soon as we're done here. That's usually how it works. But we'll recap the weekend. I'm looking forward to the car show this year because I will be bringing the 53 Buick up for the car show. So I look forward to that. So normally it's in Pennsylvania, the car, but it is here. So since it is here, I am grabbing it and I am going to bring it up for the car show on Sunday from 1 to 5 up at the Holy Angels Church. It's a huge car show. It's an awesome car show. So like I said, I look forward to bringing the Buick up there. And hopefully I love seeing everybody else's cars. So make sure you pay us a visit. Okay, with that being said, we'll meet back here on Sunday. We'll do a recap of everything that's happened, and we'll look forward to the week ahead. But obviously, it's almost football time because football kicks off in about 40 minutes. So make sure you go and watch that. My Dolphins, right? I'm looking forward. I'm hoping you have a good time on Sunday. Go Dolphins. Dolphins Jets this week. It's a tense time in my family. All my family are Jet fans, and I'm a Dolphins fan. But that's the way it usually works because everybody in my family are Yankee fans, and I'm a Red Sox fan. I seem to always be the lone one out in the family, the black sheep. But let's go Dolphins. So until Sunday, guys, I love each and every one of you as always. God bless you, and God bless this amazing country, and God bless our first responders out there. Without them, we are just... What was that? No. Without our first responders, listen, it'd be complete chaos out there. And I know it feels like chaos out there now, but it'd be a hell of a lot worse. So thank an officer. Buy them some coffee. I like to when I'm at the downtown coffee shop. But until Sunday, guys, I love you guys. God bless you. And I will see you later.
And the million faces formed together, made for elevation. And the soldier won't surrender faith. This like a fire that never burns to embers.